we'll see. Kmart, as you hear him talk, as you watch what transpired over the weekend, you and I have not had a chance to talk this week.
The psychology of Aaron Rodgers this week.
One last time. What do you think?
You know, going into the season, it did feel like Aaron had one foot out the door. Everybody expected this would be his last year. The last dance picture that he posted on Instagram, assuming him and Davante would ride off into the sunset after winning a Super Bowl. That clearly didn't happen. The way they lost makes me feel like the door is now like slammed shut almost. And you see it here with that last dance. Yeah, you just felt like everything, all the chips were in the middle of the table, and this is how he wanted to end it with Davante. That didn't happen. The fact that he's saying, you know, I won't have it's going to be a simple conversation, no weird standoff, like that, like what? that to me,
everything I did last year, like, I'm not doing it again.
Like he doesn't give the vibe of somebody talking about Davante's situation. He's talked about how so many contracts are up and how he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. Like that doesn't sound like a guy who's malleable or amenable to, hey, let's give it one more run.
So to underline the first thing you said, one foot was already out the door, now it's slammed shut?
It seems like it. That's when you listen to him, it sounds like that.
Yeah, I mean, if he's concerned about the roster, it's not going to get any better than it's been for the last couple of years. If he's trying to win a championship, it's only going to get harder. It doesn't mean he can't do it, but the interesting thing to me that he brought up with the Davante piece, so it kind of feels like he's insinuating that he does not want to see his friend get franchise tagged, but I think that might be part of the equation in order to keep this roster together. So if Davante wants to move on to somewhere else, I would assume that that means a full rebuild. So then if Aaron Rodgers decides I'm out, then he's also the expectations that the Packers will just let the best receiver in football walk away and enter full rebuild mode. So it's kind of all the chips are on his side of the table, even though he lost that big game.
So Tim Hasselbeck, for as long as we've been talking about this, which is a very long time, you have been one of the few on the side of he should stay there. It's the best place for him and all that. Now that we have seen A, the very disappointing way that the season comes to an end, and B, we really digest all of the franchise challenges that will exist salary cap-wise, et cetera. What is your perspective on whether or not Rodgers will stay and should stay?
Well, I still would maintain that it's the best chance for him to accomplish what he wants to accomplish, which is win another Super Bowl. I do think it's really tied to Davante Adams' situation. He's already been on record as saying that he's the best player that he's played with, and obviously they have a close friendship. And so I think Davante's situation, will have an impact in terms of what he decides to do. And that means long-term deal and franchise tag. Look, if Davante is franchised, it means it's a one-year deal, where he needs to have a good season. I could see Aaron playing in that situation. So, look, I think the other thing that we need to remember, too, is Aaron Rodgers is still under contract with the Green Bay Packers. And so while he has a ton of power and leverage in this situation because of the type of player that he is, it's not just solely up to him. And that's never been the case. That's why I've always maintained that he would end up back in Green Bay. Somebody please tell me what the trade value is for a guy that has dominated the league the way he has over the last 4 years. If Matthew Stafford was traded for what he was traded for, who knows and who knows if anyone has enough firepower to put a trade together to actually get Aaron Rodgers. People need to always remember that. He's under contract. Yes, high cap number, but it's not just Aaron's decision.
That's right. And certainly the Packers, at minimum, will be have some control over where he goes if he forces their hand. And if they decide they're not trading him no matter what, it gets more complicated. Mike Tannenbaum, sitting in that chair yesterday, said, I would call up Green Bay and I'd offer 3 first-round picks. Does that get it done? Is 3 first-round picks enough for Aaron Rodgers?
I think then Aaron Rodgers has to make it messy. All the things that he said he wasn't going to do is he has to say, I'm not coming to play.
Right.
Because 3 first-round picks is not worth giving up Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
3 first-round picks or nothing? Yes, you have to make that trade. So if Aaron wants to force his hand and he recognizes this roster, if they franchise Davante, that makes it even harder because then all the cap hit comes in one season, makes it even harder to bring back any other player. So it's a complex situation, and I assume that the reason why they remade made the contract was in part because they had planned on this being the last dance. All of them, right?
I only have one request, and that is, Aaron, whatever else happens this offseason, please keep going on McAfee once a week. We need it. We need the updates. We need to hear from you. So hopefully that'll continue to happen. We'll see. This is another one of these stories that's going to continue to develop. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.